Last week we have discussed about the replication of DNA, the RNA world, little bit of it RNA, mechanism of DNA replication, those things we have discussed. Now we are moving into the first part of central dogma. Central dogma means as we said, DNA to RNA, that is mRNA, RNA is that mRNA, and that mRNA is converted it into a protein. In the first step, the conversion of DNA into an mRNA, that process is known as transcription. And after mRNA to protein, that particular process is known as translation. So first we are going to discuss about this transcription. What is this transcription? What are the steps involved in the transcription, and how the transcription is differ in eukaryotes and in prokaryotes. Is it clear? So whenever a DNA is converting into an RNA, so now the exact thing is that now the whatever is present inside the DNA, that particular information is going to be coded for a purpose. That means it is going to be coded for a product. So that process should be done with great importance and with great care. So here also how the DNA replication is also important. Same way DNA conversion to mRNA and mRNA conversion to protein, that is also important, but extra care whatever they are taking. So as we have seen on the DNA, the same steps will be repeated with little changes. For example, when DNA replicates, the major thing was an enzyme was there, that is DNA dependent polymerase was there, DNA polymerase enzyme was there. Same way here for transcription also, RNA polymerase enzyme is playing the major role. That means that particular enzyme is converting the sequence of DNA into an RNA codon, which can be read by the ribosome. That is a further process. So in order to start with this particular process of converting DNA to RNA on that particular gene, that means a particular set of DNA, wherever this process has to run, there they need three basic primary regions should be there. It should be there. That means it need a promoter, it need a structural gene, it need a terminator. The meaning is this: since this is going to code for a cellular purpose, that means very important for the cellular process, a promoter should be there which promotes the coding of that particular DNA, and there should be some sequence should be there, or an area should be there which should be a terminator. That means when RNA polymerase reaches to the terminator, the process is end. So this much is required there. And now the question comes, which particular stand or in which particular way the RNA polymerase functions. So this RNA polymerase functions or produces a RNA strand in 5' to 3' direction. 5' to 3' direction. If the RNA strand is formed in 5' to 3' direction, then the sequence upon the DNA which they are reading would be from 3' to 5' direction. That is very clear. It's very easy. If RNA polymerase makes the strand in 5' to 3' direction. If they are making the strands in 5' to 3' direction, then 3' to 5' direction on the DNA strand will be the area where the reading is taking place. That particular strand, 3 to 5 strand, will be called as template strand. Template strand. So then there is an opposite strand is there, that is 5 to 3 DNA. 3 DNA is anti-parallel in direction, so 5 to 3 direction is there. That 5 to 3 is called as coding strand. Why they are called as coding strand? Because when we read the coding strand, we can understand the mRNA, the message what the mRNA is carrying, that is the sequence what the mRNA is carrying, will be equal to the coding strand, that means which is in 5 to 3 direction, except there is a one change will be there. Instead of thymine, wherever T comes, it will be U. All the other sequence will be same. That is why it is called as the coding strand. So you should not get confused that the coding strand is a strand that is codes for a particular set of information from DNA. No. The template strand codes for the particular set of information, and the language of the coding strand is equal to the language of mRNA that is formed in the 5 to 3 direction. So with a little exception, that is adenine, wherever thymine is there it will be uracil. Am I clear? So this promoter terminator and the structural genes are very much important for the coding region. If there is any problem with the promoter, the DNA will not be converted into RNA. That means promoter is the area where promoter is a particular sequence. It is data box. It is a TA in bacteria. So this is a particular sequence onto which the RNA polymerase recognize and comes and bind. If there is any mutation takes place on the promoter region, then RNA polymerase will never come and bind there. It will go and bind somewhere that particular sequence is there. After the promoter, whatever the sequence is coming, that is known as the structural gene. And after structural gene, there will be some sequence of codes will be there, which acts as the terminator. That means when RNA polymerase started to read the terminator, then it will not be converted into an mRNA. So these are the things that is present on thing. And there are two more concepts are there. Upstream, downstream. That is a very common term that is used in this particular method. So upstream means from where the RNA polymerase binds, that is a promoter region, to the friend, that particular side is known as the upstream. Whatever it is down of that is known as the downstream. So every time the promoters will be present on the template strand in the upstream position, wherever it is, it will be present in the upstream position, and the downstream position is where the promoters are bind, or the sequence of that particular DNA is there where RNA polymerase has to bind. Then next comes as the transcription unit. What are this transcription unit, and what are these exons, introns, etc. So first of all, here in this book, what they have said is what we call as a gene. So gene means a particular set of information that is coded on a DNA, which have a particular role, that means which will be converted into a gene, that is called as a gene, or a functional part of a DNA. And another one more thing, whatever the DNA is produced, that DNA will be converted it into proteins through some RNA that we will discuss in translation process through some part of some type of RNA. So whatever the RNAs are formed with related to this DNA, that is also defined as a gene, because if that particular RNA is not there, this particular DNA or the particular mRNA which is formed will never be converted it into a protein. So this you have to keep in mind. Then in bacteria, whenever we are seeing in bacteria, this structural gene will be from whatever the structural genes that is found inside a bacteria. It is polycistronic in nature. Polycistronic in nature means many ribosome. That means very near to each and every particular DNA sequence, these ribosomes will come and bind. When these ribosomes are coming and bind that particular sequence, and in eukaryotes, when we see, I have given diagrams in the notebook, we can understand that it is a very chain like structure, and each and every area there will be a binding of DNA, binding of ribosomes will be there. That particular DNA sets are known as polycistronic. And monocistronic means there will be only one structural gene. That particular structural gene will be present in between the promoter and in between a terminator. So this is not the condition in prokaryotes. Another two terms that is coming is exons and introns. The coding sequence, whatever the coding sequence that is present inside it is very common in eukaryotic organisms. Whenever in eukaryotic organism, what is happening is, whenever the mRNAs are produced, whatever all the mRNAs are not possible or not arranged in such a way that it will form a protein. So there are some sequences of mRNAs are there which will code for a protein and which will not code for a protein. Whatever it is coding for the protein, it is called as an exon, and whatever is not coding for a protein, it is known as intron. So the arrangement will be like this. There will be one set of exon, then there will be intron, then exon, then intron, exon, intron, like that. This process will be continuing in eukaryotes. And these introns, that introns mean intervening sequence, these introns will be cut off by the process of splicing, which is very common in eukaryotes, and it is not present in bacteria, or rare in bacteria. There are few species are there where this splicing is taking place. So this is what is coming mainly inside the transcription unit. Another thing. And next, this diagram, whatever it is given here, it is how the RNA polymerase is converted, or what is the function of RNA polymerase, and what are the parts of RNA polymerase, what this RNA polymerase is doing. And here they have given when an mRNA is formed in eukaryotes, what is happening. And next comes the genetic code, that means mRNA, what is the codon for the mRNA, that we will discuss in the next class. Genetic code we will discuss in next class. So now we are coming to the how a particular process of transcription taking place. So when you look into this RNA polymerase enzyme is a holo enzyme, which is the term holo enzyme you have studied in the first year in the biomolecules in the enzyme chapter. So this is an holo enzyme. This holo enzyme is having a sigma factor and a rho factor. Both are there, sigma factor and this rho factor is there. and all the DNA, that means all the process of converting this DNA to mRNA, it depends upon the external signal. There should be some signal from outside, then only this DNA will start to transcribe it into a protein. Simply it will not. So whenever DNA wanted to convert it into an mRNA, that time RNA polymerase will come, DNA dependent RNA polymerase will come there. So whenever this RNA polymerase is coming there, what will happen? This RNA polymerase is a structural protein, which is a hollow enzyme, which is having a sigma factor and a rho factor inside that. So this sigma factor and this rho factor have specific functions are there. What is the function is this is, there's, I said promoter, there should be an area which is known as a promoter, it will be present in the 3' to 5' strand of DNA. On this promoter, this particular RNA polymerase has to come and hang, that means come and hold like a pin, like a plug. It should be plucked through it, or it should hang to this. For this hanging, the rho enzyme will be helping, the rho part of the RNA polymerase will be helping. Then this sigma factor, they started to convert this DNA into an mRNA with the help of energy. Once this process is over, that rho factor will be moved off from the from the DNA strand, and that will be converted it into an RNA. This is what it is taking place normally inside the normal function. But whenever it is taking place inside an eukaryotic organism, what is happening is the function is same. Rho factor, sigma factor function is same. So whenever these RNAs are formed, these mRNAs will be having some additional things will be added to it. That is, additional thing will be added to it. That is, it will be having a cap and it will be having a tail. So mRNA is synthesized in 5' to 3' direction. In the 5' direction, there will be a cap which is called as the GPPP cap. That is, it will be more with guanine and phosphate compound. And the backside, that is the 3' direction, there will be a tail which is of AAA tail. And why this is capping and why there is a tail? This cap is in such a way that this cap will prevent that mRNA from RNase enzyme that is present inside the cell. So this RNA, whenever this RNase enzyme is there, the only thing RNase enzyme will do is RNase enzyme will never see whether it is required or not required. This is simply come and cleave it off. The RNA which is having that catalytic activity, which we call it as ribozymes, they will simply come and cut off, cut and go. So that is not required. But poly A tail will act as a label. Label in the sense means this will function in such a way that this, whenever a cell, it's something like a flag. So on that flag it will be there, that means some message will be there in the form of codon, that where this particular mRNA's message has to go, whether it has to go for cytoplasm, whether it goes to plasma membrane, whether it goes to mitochondria, where it has to go. That will be also a set of sequence. So these two extra additions, that means the post transcriptional additions, will be present in the eukaryotic organism. And here also the mRNAs are formed. The exon intron sequence also will be there. Exons will be codon and introns will be the non-coding, and these introns will be cut off in the process through splicing. Is it clear? And the other enzymes, other enzymes that is responsible for doing this particular, helping or supporting this mRNA translation or that whole process, is tRNA, 5sRNA and snRNAs. These are heterogeneous. This will help inside the process of the formation of these ribosomes and other RNAs. And RNA polymerase II, that also is a precursor to the mRNA, which also support for the process of transcription. And the next one, whatever the introns and exon sequence are formed, these introns will be cut off, and that particular process of cutting of introns from the mRNA and joining of exons, that particular process is called as splicing. And the machine that do this splicing, will call it as spliceosomes or spliceosomes. And these spliceosomes are very common in eukaryotes and rare in, or we can say no in, bacteria, except this archaeobacteria. So it is very rare inside the bacterial thing. So this is the main thing you have to study. So it is very easy. This genetic code is also related to this particular transcription process. It's very simple. ATGC code we know. If the corresponding mRNA is formed, it is easy to write from that. So this particular process is called as the transcription process, that is taking place in bacteria and in eukaryotes. So if there is any doubt, text me, or many of you may be having my number. Text me, and I have given the notes also. That notes will be little bit lengthy. There are a lot of things to read, but first you read your CBSE textbook, understand the basic concept and read that, because I have given there some sequences which are which is present in bacteria, which is present in eukaryotes, which will act as a terminator, which will act as a promoter, like that it is given. So that much of detail is not required, but you can go through that after reading the textbook, after understanding the concept. So if there is any doubts, text me, I will reply to you. Thank you.